So what is the root of fear in our lives? And not the fear that is natural instinct for us, natural instinct in every animal, fight or flight. When an emergency comes, we react. There's no thought, we just move very instinctively. That's not the fear that I'm talking about. The fear that I'm referring to is the fear that begins to really block our otherwise smooth energy flow in our body. The fear that clogs up our mind, fills up our head, becomes stress, becomes heart pain. The fear that turns into worry, anxiety, all of those things, disease in the bodies. That's the fear that I'm referring to. Where does that fear come from? I ask this question only because I've experienced so much of it in my own life and have been very curious about it lately. Because as I've been reading and studying, the idea that, from all of the teachers I've been reading, the idea that we are all made up of love, that everything comes from love, everything is the divine, is God. If everything is that, then why is there so much chaos? Why is there so much disorder? Why is there so much anger, fear, stress, depression, all of those things? And so I had to ask myself, well, where does my fear come from? And when I look deeply into my own life, my fear comes from my concerns about the future, deadlines, my worries that I'll never be able to be the man I want to be and blossom into the person that I want to become. My concerns about maybe some mistakes that I've made in the past, some broken bridges, and also maybe some concerns about what other people think of me, or there's many more. The list can go on. So where do those come from with me? And only because of my yoga practice and meditation practice and because of the wonderful teachers that I've had the privilege of reading and studying with, do I realize that fear in my life comes from me being unconscious, me not being in the present moment. So in the present moment, there is no past, there is no future, there is no worry. So if I am thinking into the future or looking back into the past, then obviously I am unconscious. And only in those times do I begin to feel those fears, those anxieties. So fear is unconsciousness. So if we're conscious, then we are in the lap of love. We are in the present moment. And then when you have spent time there, if you've worked on it, and it's something that you aspire to do, then you do understand that that is true. Anything that I've done creatively, anything that I've pursued and has turned out well, has always come from presence, always come from quiet, still mind, creating from the heart, creating from a place of love. And obviously, if you really look closely at your own life, you would realize that you do everything, and everything that's in your life is a product of love. Even your own birth came from your parents' love for each other. Regardless of the environment that you were raised in, their love for each other brought you into this world. And then you can even say, well, what about my job? I don't like my job. My job's okay. Or even some people, I hate my job. But you do have to realize that you go to your job because you love the byproduct of your job, which is money. And money affords you to have the house that you have, to enjoy the food that you want to enjoy, to have a car so that you can travel and roam this beautiful planet. So even that, the sacrifice that you make so that you can have the things that you love. Eventually, of course, hopefully you'll love your job, because we were born and we deserve to have the things that we love. We deserve to have an abundant, wonderful, blissful life. That was what was intended for us. It was our concerns, our mind, and living so much in our head and being unconscious that created the chaos and the fear. You don't have to look very far, and that's the wonderful part about being alive and being conscious, is that you realize that all of the lessons and all the things that are meant for you to learn are right here within the realm of your own life, within the product of what you've created as an adult in your own life. So as you're traveling through life, how do you begin to eliminate that fear and bring yourself back to the moment? Unfortunately, I can't discuss that with you now because the video is almost run out. So I plan on discussing that next Friday, discussing techniques that I use to bring myself back into the moment, to begin to cultivate consciousness. Of course, yoga is one of those ways, but there are a few other ways that I look forward to sharing that with you next Friday when I record my next video log. So please return next Friday and I'll share that stuff with you. Until then, I hope you have a wonderful week, and it's a pleasure to spend this time with you. Take care.